So should you see other people whilst your marriage is separated? You know, it can be a confusing time and you can feel torn between wanting to repair your marriage and the temptation to explore maybe other options, other relationships. And it can feel really confusing and overwhelming when you're really unsure about whether seeing other people may help or hurt your chances of reconciliation. So in this video, I'm going to break down why exploring other relationships while separated might seem like a good idea, but could ultimately sabotage your efforts to repair your marriage, and what steps to take if your partner is seeing other people. When a relationship has started to break down and you're going through a separation, this can often feel like it's the end of the road for the relationship. Like there are no more options and ultimately the relationship is done for. So you can feel torn between whether to continue to try to repair this relationship or whether to explore other options, like maybe your partner is doing right now. But during this time, there are a lot of mistakes when it comes to wanting to see other people while you're separated. The first main mistake is this idea of a tit-for-tat mindset. Reacting to your partner seeing someone else by doing the same can create this illusion of fairness. This idea that, well, if they're seeing someone, then I should be able to see someone, right? But this actually erodes trust and connection because your intent isn't actually because you're wanting to see somebody else. You're doing this as a reaction to what your partner is doing. And this can actually destroy emotional safety more. And emotional safety is one of the core elements of a relationship. So having this tit-for-tat mindset can actually create a lot more problems than it actually solves. Next is revenge dating, actively trying to make your partner miss you by dating other people. This is kind of like an escalated version of the tit-for-tat mindset. This is actively trying to get your partner to miss you, to get your partner to draw closer to you by seeing somebody else. This leads to a lot more pain and a lot more distance. So if your intent is to try to manipulate your partner into missing you, then ultimately it's going to backfire big time. The next, if you're wanting to see someone simply because you're lonely and need validation, this can also be a big mistake. If you're trying to fill an emotional void with seeing somebody else during this time, this may seem comforting. It may seem like a nice idea to make yourself feel better, but ultimately this distracts from any real personal growth or relationship growth between you and your partner that you are needed to fully heal. So if you're trying to fill an emotional void, this is going to push your partner further away because they're going to see that you're doing this, not because you're wanting to explore other options, but because you are needy and you need someone to fill that void. That shows an emotional immaturity to your partner. The next mistake is if you're trying to see somebody else because you can't decide whether you want to see your partner or not. This shows that you are really unable to make a firm decision. And this can lead to a big missed opportunity for real reconciliation with your partner. If you're seen to be flip-flopping back and forth between trying to figure out whether you want to see somebody else or see your partner, then your partner is going to be pushed further away from you because they're going to see that you are really unable to make a commitment to changing and building the relationship. That's ultimately going to reinforce their decision. The biggest mistake is doing it for short-term gratification. New relationships can feel exciting at first, but when challenges arise, they don't offer the same depth and stability that you're seeking. So if you're just doing this to get a quick thrill, cheap thrill in your life, then ultimately this isn't going to bring you closer to your partner and ultimately not going to give you any satisfaction. So it's really crucial to understand your own intent in wanting to look at other relationships. And if it's any of these options, then this is going to push your partner further and further away and diminish your chances of reconciling even further. So at this point, if you're really trying to repair your relationship with your partner, there are some things to consider when thinking about dating other people or considering other options. And just before I dig into this, if you do want more videos on relationships, communication, and even ADHD, then feel free to subscribe to my channel for new videos every single week. The first is understanding your partner's perspective. If they suggested separation, then they are the ones that are in doubt. They're the ones worried about the relationship. So if you are really wanting to commit and to try to repair it, if you start seeing other people, think about what this tells your partner. Think about you saying to your partner, hey, I really want to repair this, but then you're also saying, well, I'm going to go on a date on Saturday night, and I'm also, on Tinder or Grindr or whatever it is. Think about what this tells your partner. It tells your partner that you're saying one thing, but really you're doing other things. You're actually sitting on the fence more than you're saying. Your actions are very, very different. Try to understand your partner's perspective. If you're looking to repair the relationship, then is dating other people ultimately leading to that goal? Next is to reconsider the honeymoon period of other relationships. If you're actually going out to date other people whilst trying to reconcile with your partner, you will initially find something easier at first. The honeymoon period is real. You bring your best self, they will bring their best self, so you'll find something that will seem easier than your relationship. Your relationship has years of ups and downs, and this new relationship is fresh. It doesn't have all of that baggage initially. It's when over time, over a year or 2 years, real issues and challenges come up, navigating those, that's where real issues happen. So if you're dating other people looking for another option, you will find another option that is easier than your current relationship. But that is always going to be a temporary thing. If you don't have the skills to address the root causes and overcome challenges in a relationship, then you're going to be in the exact same position in a year's time or 2 years' time with this new partner. Next, it's really important to understand that you need to make a decision. Are you pursuing the relationship or not? Don't make it conditional. Don't make it, I will pursue this relationship if you don't see somebody else. If you're willing to pursue the relationship, stop looking elsewhere until you decide to not pursue the relationship. A lot of people misunderstand what making a decision is. Making a decision on a relationship isn't saying yes to someone. Making a decision on a relationship involves saying no to all of the other options. You're not saying yes to one person, you're saying no to everyone else. And if you're sat on the fence, your partner's going to see that you're sat on the fence. There's a quote, if you want to be the best option, then you have to grow your product and you have to outlast the competition. They're the two things that you need to do. You can't punish your customers for wanting to choose another option. You have to create the best product you can and you have to outlast the competition. And that's the only way that you're going to repair the relationship right now, is to show that you are the best option. So if your partner has raised the separation and is unsure whether you're going to be able to be a good partner, seeing other people doesn't really raise your value. In fact, it kind of decreases it because it shows that you may not actually be as committed as you say that you are. You know, imagine if you owned a business and a job candidate came to you and was super excited. They wanted to work for you and they were like, you are my dream company to work for. I think that we can both get a lot out of this. I'm really, really committed. And then you take on another candidate and you tell that first candidate, hey, we're going to try things out with this other one first. We think that they may be the better option. Now imagine that first candidate was like, you know what, maybe I don't want to work for you anymore. Maybe I'm not sure if this company is right for me after all. Would you think, oh, maybe I was wrong about this guy? Or would you think, damn, I'm glad that I dodged that bullet. They put their ego first. And that's kind of like what happens in a separation. If you're willing to throw this all away because your partner is seeing somebody else, then that actually is going to kind of reinforce their belief that maybe this isn't the right person after all. Now imagine that first candidate responded in a different way. And they said something like, hey, you know, I understand why you'd want to try out other people. Just to let you know, I'm still committed to growing. I still want to work for this company. What do you think that I could be missing to be a better fit with you? What can I work on to pursue this dream company? Think of the difference there. You know, as the employer, that's got to put at least a seed of doubt in the back of your mind of like, wow, they are really focused on growing with us rather than just trying to find some quick job. So how do you become the best option? How do you build your product and show up in the right ways? First, it's important to be consistent, being reliable, showing up consistently, both physically and emotionally. This demonstrates that you are committed and dependable, and this builds trust over time. It's really crucial to make sure that this is a baseline, that your actions are matching your words. And this means that it's important to communicate openly and honestly, be honest about your thoughts and your feelings, and don't play games. The more that you're transparent about where you're at, what you're trying to do, your intent behind trying to rebuild a relationship, this will help to rebuild the foundation of the relationship, even if your partner is seeing somebody else right now. And then it's important to focus on self-improvement. You know, investing your time during this separation in your own growth not only makes you more attractive as a partner, but it also shows that you're serious about making the relationship work. This means that you're focusing on self-growth, not just the relationship status. When you're concentrating on becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally become the best option without obsessing over where the relationship currently stands, whether your partner is seeing somebody else or not, whether you have somebody in the wings waiting or not. And next, it's important to be understanding, not demanding. So this is offering support without pressuring your partner. If your partner wants to see other people, give them all the autonomy to make their own decisions. Don't try to manipulate or guilt trip them into making a different decision. Right now, the best thing that you can do is show that you're willing to let your partner be free to make their own decisions, to trust them to make the right decision that's best for them. Helping them through their struggles without adding any stress is crucial to rebuilding that strong connection. Then as you're working on yourself and showing up in the right ways, it's important to make sure that you're outlasting the competition. This is all about playing the long game, not as a game, but make sure that you're focusing on the long term, not the short term. So instead of trying to rush reconciliation or force your partner to make a decision, understand that lasting relationships are built over time. They're not built in a sprint. This means that you need to be patient and understanding. If your partner is struggling with whether to be in the relationship with you right now, or whether to be in a relationship with somebody else, being patient and actually taking the time to listen and understand your partner is really, really crucial. And this shows that you are in for the long term. Relationships during separation can be really fragile. So if you're showing empathy and giving your partner the space they need to make their own decisions while still being honest about your commitment, it's important to be steady, not pushy. So it's important to maintain that you are interested without overwhelming your partner. Being honest that you are wanting to repair the relationship, but not forcing them to make a decision between you and somebody else. Being pushy drives your partner away. Whereas if you show you can be steady, calm, and focus on the right things, this is a lot more reassuring. And doing this involves multiple skills. It involves emotional regulation, communicating in the right ways, talking about the right things. And if you do want to learn all of these skills, then join me on my free relationship bootcamp, where you'll learn the same tools and skills that all of my successful members have used to turn their relationships around, even past separation and divorce. Just click on the link in the description to reserve your place today. Then it's important to be able to weather the ups and downs. New relationships often seem easier in the beginning, and this includes your partner seeing other people as well. By thinking in the long term and being able to show that you are stable and that you're committed and you're steady, this will show that you are ready to outlast the competition because you're willing to think long term to soldier through the stresses, the challenges that come with relationships. And by doing this, then you can outlast the initial excitement of new connections. And this also means that you're willing to put aside the temporary idea of seeing somebody else in order to provide value to the long-term relationship of you and your partner. And what this involves is being able to master your emotions in order to weather these ups and downs and to build your resilience. Now, I've spoken about building resilience in a previous video, which I'll link to here, but it essentially involves mastering your emotions and being able to turn negatives into positives. And this is really crucial during separation because being able to build this resilience and show this resilience is crucial in showing your partner that you're willing and ready to start turning the relationship around in the right way. So I'll leave you with that deep dive video and I'll see you over there.